I've spent the last 3 years since my divorce battling depression, anxiety, and grief. Also new grief from my brother's passing. I remember you sharing that with me. I'm really sorry to hear that. Is it possible to keep your vibration in the place it needs to be when battling these things? I've tried multiple approaches to redirect my subconscious programming, but I'm still exhausted most days and feeling disconnected. I know that vibration is everything though, so I feel like I'm fighting a bit of a battle. Your priority is to feel those feelings, not to ignore them or repress them. When we push down and repress our feelings, we are actually creating depression because we can't selectively switch off emotions. So if you're ignoring and repressing grief and sadness, at the same time as pushing that down and ignoring that, you're pushing down your joy and your happiness. And so you're flatlining, and that brings us into a state of depression. So as you know, I'm a big fan of self-love and full self-acknowledgement and self-compassion, which begins with self-awareness. And it's so important that you acknowledge and feel your feelings and be real with where you're at right now. Like really acknowledge that that's just where you're at right now. And it's a precious, tender time for you right now. And you're being invited to love yourself enough and honor yourself enough to really feel those feelings in a way that feels safe for you. So I know that there's all this talk about laws of attraction and you've got to have your vibration high and be feeling really good to call in what you want. And, while there's truth to that, that doesn't mean we ignore honestly how we're feeling. You can't manipulate yourself into a high energetic frequency. You don't get to be in a high energetic frequency if you're ignoring the truth of who you are, which is how you're really honestly feeling. It's so important to, when we don't look at those parts of ourselves, those feelings that we don't want to have them because they're not nice, or we believe that if I have that, I can't have what I really want because I'm not being positive, I'm not being the right vibrational match. You're never going to be the right vibrational match if you don't honor the truth of where you're at. Feel those feelings and allow yourself to move through them to the other side. As you feel them, they're unblocking, the depression will start to lift, and you can naturally move into a space of happiness and joy and those higher, more pleasurable vibrations, which are absolutely really attractive. But I think it's a really attractive quality as well to be really honest with where you're at. I think that's a very attractive quality because you're being honest, you're aligned with your true self when you're honoring those feelings. I don't think that's a repelling or a pushing away energy at all. I think when we honor our true feelings, even if they feel low and hard and heavy, it's where we're at. It's acknowledging our life's journey. And I think that level of honesty and self-awareness and self-alignment and self-honoring is hugely attractive. Journaling is an awesome way to feel your feelings. It's a really good place to start to acknowledge what is actually going on for you. And then it's about creating safe space for yourself to just feel them. Feel what comes up. And is that crying? And if you find it hard to cry, is that creating time for a chick flick that you just know is going to bring tears? Is there anger coming up and do you need to go take a boxing class? Do you need to go for a run to kind of stomp it out? A walk in the woods to stomp it out? Do you need to take your car for a drive down a country road and just scream in the car and just let it out? What are safe ways that you can create space for yourself to release and feel what needs releasing and feeling? And remember, it actually takes more energy to push down emotions than it does to allow them and to release and move through them. Takes way more energy. So you will be energized if you acknowledge the truth of where you're at right now. Love yourself enough for that.